Hello students, I am Nirmala, PGT Physics from KV number 4 Jalandhar Kent. After watching today's video, you will be able to understand the concept of center of mass of two particle system. But before watching this video, you should have previous knowledge of rigid body, concept of center of mass and concept of internal and external forces. So let's start today's topic.
That is center of mass of two particle system. In order to find the expression for center of mass of two particle system, consider coordinate axis, that is x-axis and y-axis, and a system consisting of two particles. Consider one particle is present at point A having mass m1 and second particle is present at point B having mass m2. Let r1 and r2 be the position vectors of these two particles, that is represented by r1 and r2 from origin. Now, center of mass of these two particle system will lie on the line joining, that is AB. Consider C is a point where center of mass of two particle system having mass m1 m2 lies. Let R is a position vector of center of mass C, that is distance of center of mass C from the origin is RCM, where CM denotes center of mass. Now we have to find the formula for R of center of mass. In order to find that, because system consisting of two particles, so these two particles will experience force on each other, that is internal force. Let F21 is the internal force experienced by particle having mass m2 and F12 is the internal force experienced by particle having mass m1. Also consider F1 is external force acting on m1 and F2 is external force acting on m2. So total force acting on m1 is sum of internal force and external force. Similarly, total force acting on m2 is internal force and external force. According to second law of motion, Newton's second law of motion, we know that rate of change of linear momentum is equal to total force acting on a particle, that is F total. Now by applying this second law of motion to the masses m1 m2, we can write it as total force acting on particle having mass m1 is F12 plus F1, which will be equal to rate of change of linear momentum of particle 1, that is suppose P1. Similarly, total force acting on particle having mass m2 is, and it is also equal to rate of change of linear momentum of particle having mass m2, and let P2 is the linear momentum of second particle, this is linear momentum of first particle. Now add equation number 1 and 2. By adding, we will get F12 plus F21 plus F1, that is external force, that will be equal to d upon dt of P1 plus d upon dt of P2. Now we know that F12 and F21 are the internal forces acting on each other, so they are equal and opposite, so cancel each other. Therefore we get only resultant of external force, let it be F. F is a external force, that is equal to dP1 upon dt plus dP2 upon dt. Also we know that linear momentum is equal to product of mass and velocity. Also P2 will be equal to m2 into v2. By putting the value of P1 and P2 in above equation, we get F external will be equal to d upon dt of m1 v1 plus d upon dt of m2 v2. Also velocity v1 is equal to dr1 divided by dt and v2 is equal to dr2 divided by dt. Now by putting the values of v1 and v2, we get this force is equal to d upon dt of m1 into dr vector divided by dt plus d upon dt of m2 d upon dt of r2. Now we can take common, that is d square upon dt square m1 r1 vector plus m2 r2 vector. This is the F external force. Now we know that in a given system there are two particles having mass m1 and m2, that is total mass will be equal to m1 plus m2. Now multiply and divide the right hand side of this equation by total mass of the system, that is m1 plus m2. So we get by multiplication and division F external is equal to m1 plus m2 into d square upon dt square m1 r1 vector plus m2 r2 vector whole divided by m1 plus m2, that is total mass. This equation number 3. Now if r is a position vector of center of mass of two particle system, then we can write it as, according to second law of motion, F is equal to m into d square upon dt square into r center of mass. This equation number 4. Now compare equation number 3 and 4. This represent force, that is also force. This is total mass, this is also total mass. D square upon dt square, d square upon dt square. So this value r center of mass must be equal to this. So on comparing, we get r is equal to m1 r1 plus m2 r2 divided by m1 plus m2. So this is the formula to find position of center of mass of two particle system, or we can say this formula is used to find the center of mass if masses are distributed discretely. And this formula is for two particles. Similarly, we can find the position of center of mass of a system consisting of n particles, that is n particles, suppose having mass m1, m2, m3, so on mn at a distance r1, r2 and r3 respectively from the origin. Then center of mass of a system at a point is given as m1 r1 plus m2 r2 and so on mn rn divided by total mass. In terms of summation, we can write it as mi ri, I varies from 1 to n, and this represents the total mass. Sigma mi is the sum of the masses of all the particles and hence the total mass of the body, that is m. So this formula is used to find the center of mass of n particle systems if masses are distributed discretely. But there are some situations where mass is not distributed discretely. In such situation, for example, rigid bodies such as a meter stick or flywheel in which particles are packed closely. Therefore, the number of particles or the atoms molecules in such a body are so large that it is impossible to carry out the summation over individual particle in these equations. So here we will find the coordinates of center of mass. That is, if masses are distributed continuously, then we have to find the coordinates of center of mass. That is, coordinate x will be equal to sigma of mi xi divided by total mass. Similarly, y coordinate, that is sigma mi yi divided by sigma mi, and z coordinate, that is equal to summation mi zi divided by sigma mi, that is the total mass. Now consider the special cases. So these formulas are used, means we have to find the coordinates when there is a continuous distribution of mass on a body, and this formula is used to find position of center of mass if masses are distributed discretely. Now we have to discuss some special cases. First special case is if a system consisting of two particles having equal mass equal to m, then position vector or position of center of mass is given as r is equal to r1 plus r2 divided by 2m. r1 plus r2 into m divided by 2m, then we get r1 plus r2 divided by 2, because m1 is equal to m, m2 is also equal to m, we can take common, and this m1 plus m2 becomes equal to 2m, so we will get this result. And this shows that if a system consisting of particles of equal masses, then their center of mass will lies on the midway of the line joining of the two particles. That is, from figure we can see, if these particles having equal mass, then their center of mass will lie on the midpoint of AB. Therefore, we can say two particles of equal masses, the center of mass lies exactly between them, midway between them. Second case, if m1 is greater than m2, means if a system consisting of a particles having different masses, then center of mass will lies towards the heavier particle, that is towards the heavy particles. Next is, now consider some examples how to find the center of mass of a particle of a system if three particles are given in a plane. So first of all, consider in this question number 1, find the center of mass of three particles at the vertices of equilateral triangle. The masses of the particles are 100, 150 and 200 grams respectively. Each side of triangle is 0.5 meter long. Now we have to find the position of center of mass. Situation is, first of all, we have to consider the origin. Let triangle that is having side 0.5 meter each. Consider this point is the origin, that is we have to consider x-axis, y-axis, and this will be the suppose origin. Now here mass is equal to 100 gram. Then second is suppose this point, that is mass is 150 gram. Third is 200 gram. Now we have to find the position of center of mass. In order to find the position of center of mass, we should know the coordinates of O point, A and B point. Now point O lies on origin, so it has coordinates 0, 0. Point A lies on x-axis, so its y component is 0, and we know that side length is 0.5 meter, so its coordinates are 0.50. Now we have to find the coordinates of B. In order to find the coordinates of B, draw perpendicular from here, and because this angle is 60 degree, so we can find, suppose this point is N. Consider a triangle. Triangle is ONB. In this triangle we have to find the value of ON, that is this, and this will give the x coordinate of point B, and we have to find the value of BN. This will give the y coordinate of point B. So in order to find ON and BN, we have to write the value of sine theta and cos theta in the triangle. Triangle is ONB. Sine theta is equal to BN divided by OB. From here BN will be equal to OB sine theta, and theta is 60 degree. OB is 0.5, sine 60. Sine 60 is under root 3 by 2. So BN means y coordinate of B becomes 0.5 into under root 3 by 2. Similarly, same cos theta is equal to ON divided by OB. From here we can find ON, that is the x coordinate of B point, that is equal to OB cos of 60 degree, and OB is again 0.5, cos 60 is 1 by 2, that is 0.5 divided by 2. This is the x coordinate of point B. So B has coordinates, that is by dividing this we will get 0.25, and by solving this we will get 0.25 under root 3. So it has coordinates, that is 0.25 x coordinate and 0.25 under root 3 y coordinates. Now we have to find the position of center of mass, but there is a discrete distribution of the particles, so we have to find here the x and y coordinate of center of mass. Now the x coordinate is given as x is equal to m1 x1 plus m2 x2 plus m3 x3 divided by total mass, that is m1 plus m2 plus m3. Now m1 is 100 and its x coordinate is 0, and m2 is 150 and its x coordinate is 0.5. From here x coordinate is 0.5, and 200 gram having x coordinate 0.25. Therefore we get 200 into 0.25 divided by total mass, that is 450, and after solving we will get 5 by 18 meter, that is the x coordinate. Similarly y coordinate, that is m1 y1 plus m2 y2 plus m3 y3 divided by total mass again m1 plus m2 plus m3, and that will be equal to, again now we have to consider y coordinate, that is 0 0 and 0.25 under root 3. Therefore m1 is 100 into 0, m2 is 150 into 0, m3 is 200 and a coordinate is 0.25 under root 3 divided by total mass, that is 450, and we will get the answer 1 by 3 under root 3 meter. Therefore the center of mass will lie on this line having coordinates, suppose here. This will be the position of center of mass of this diagram. Next question. Question number 2. Here find the center of mass of uniform L-shaped lamina, a thin flat plate with the dimensions as shown in figure, and mass of total lamina is 3 kg. We are given dimensions of L-shaped lamina. We divide this L-shaped lamina. Here is mass is uniformly distributed over this lamina. Choosing x-axis and y-axis as shown in figure, and dimensions are here 2 meter and this is 1 meter. Now we have the coordinates of the vertices of the L-shaped lamina as shown. Now we can think of the L shape to consist of 3 squares, that is join this and join this. So we consider this L shaped as it consists of 3 squares each of length 1 meter. The mass of each square is 1 kg because total mass is 3 kg. So each square has mass 1 kg, 1 kg and 1 kg because lamina is uniform. The centers of mass, that is C1, C2 and C3 of the square are by symmetry their geometrical center and having coordinates. How we can find the coordinates of C1, C2 and C3? That is, here this is a 1 meter and up to this it is 2 meter. Now this region having coordinate 0, 0 and this points having coordinate 1, 0. Next we have to find the coordinate of this point C. So C will be having x coordinate, that is half of 1, and y coordinate also half of 1. So it has coordinates, that is 1 by 2, 1 by 2. Then come to C2, and C2 having coordinate from origin to this point, that is 1 plus 1 by 2, that is 3 by 2 along x-axis, and along y-axis it is 1 by 2. Then C3, and C3 having coordinate, that is y coordinate is up to this, that is 3 by 2, and x coordinate is up to this, that is half, 1 by 2, 3 by 2. Now the center of mass of the whole L-shaped lamina having coordinates pose xy are given as. Now the x coordinate, that is equal to m1 into x1 plus m2 into x2, m3 into x3 divided by total mass, that is m1 plus m2 plus m3, and it is equal to mass is 1 and x coordinate, that is x1 coordinate of C1 is 1 by 2, plus mass is again 1 and x2 means coordinate of C2, that is 3 by 2, plus again mass is 1 and coordinate is 1 by 2, and total mass is equal to 3 kg. After solving we get 5/6 meter. Similarly, y coordinate, that is m1 y1 plus m2 y2 plus m3 y3 divided by m1 plus m2 plus m3. Now the y coordinate 1 into 1 by 2 of C1, 1 into 1 by 2 of C2, 1 into 3 by 2 of C3, and total mass again 3, that is again equal to 5/6 meter. Therefore, the center of mass of this L-shaped lamina lies on this line. This point is force D and this lies on this line. So in this way we can find the position of center of mass of uniformly distributed mass. At the end of this video, let us recapitulate the lesson. Center of mass of two particle system having equal masses will always lie exactly midway between them. Second point, what we have learned, that is, if a system consists of different masses, then center of mass of a system will lie closer to the heavier mass or heavier particle. Center of mass of system lies toward the heavier mass. And third point, if there is a discrete distribution of masses, then position of center of mass is given as m1 r1 plus m2 r2 plus so on up to total mass divided by total mass, that is m1 plus m2 plus so on up to mn. This is all about today's.
At the end of this video, 3 questions are given for assignment. First question is, center of mass of system of particle is at the origin. It follows that you have to tick the correct answer. These questions are for your practice. Second question and last is third question. You have to practice these questions, and these questions are related to this video.